Did you know that you can just use simple mathematics to shit on all the worry about man made climate change? Like, seriously, the math is extremely simple. Like, let's take the US for instance. According to just about every study out there, the United States puts out about 14 trillion pounds of CO2 every year. Now, that's a lot. Well, in comparison to a lot of other countries, it's not. But 14 trillion is still a pretty big number. So now we're told that we have to do all this stuff and cut back on all this other stuff and build all these new things so that we can deal with the 14 trillion pounds of CO2. But we don't. See, here's where the basic mathematics comes into play. We know that a tree absorbs about 48 pounds of CO2 per year. And in the US, we have 228 billion trees. So all you want to do if you want to find out how much CO2 is left over after the trees do their thing is take your 228 billion trees and multiply that by the 48 pounds of CO2 they absorb per year. When you do that very simple math, it comes out to about 11 trillion pounds of CO2 absorbed. So when we talk about just trees, we're not talking about plants, we're not talking about technology, just trees. 11 trillion pounds of the 14 trillion pounds of CO2 is already dealt with naturally. That leaves 3 trillion pounds. Remember, the 11 trillion pounds was taken care of by just trees. And if you look at the remaining plant life that exists throughout the United States, the amount of CO2 that they absorb is far above and beyond 3 trillion pounds. Again, that's not talking about any technology we have or anything we've came up with to absorb the CO2. That's just trees and plants doing what they naturally do. Y'all are welcome to do this simple math. Like, this information is not hidden. It just requires a little bit of research to actually get the real numbers. So knowing that all that's true and provable through very basic mathematics, that would mean that plants and trees are not only absorbing every bit of CO2 put out by the United States every year, but are going above and beyond. Like I said, since we know that's true based on basic math, what are y'all worried about?